Are you constantly feeling tired, battling headaches, or dealing with those frustrating muscle cramps that seem to come out of nowhere? You know you should be drinking more water. But despite your best efforts, are you still feeling dehydrated? Let me tell you, after turning 50, I realized my body wasn't processing water the same way anymore, and I kept wondering, am I doing something wrong, or is this just another joy of getting older? Well, I've got news for you. After diving deep into this issue, I discovered something shocking. Most of us are making critical mistakes with our hydration habits that are actually preventing us from getting the benefits we need, especially as we age. You see, dehydration is a serious concern for us over 50 folks. Did you know that as we age, our thirst sensation naturally decreases? It's true. Studies I've read suggest that by age 65, many of us experience up to a 50% reduction in thirst signals compared to younger adults. This means we're literally not feeling thirsty, even when our bodies desperately need water. What's worse, chronic mild dehydration affects an estimated 75% of Americans over 50, contributing to a whole host of health issues we commonly associate with just getting older: joint pain, cognitive fog, digestive problems, and even blood pressure irregularities. I was shocked when I learned from research at Mayo Clinic that even mild dehydration, just 1 to 2% below optimal levels, can impair cognitive function by up to 30%. No wonder I was forgetting where I put my keys. The consequences go far beyond just feeling a little thirsty. Dehydration is actually one of the most common causes of hospitalization among older adults, with research from the National Institute on Aging suggesting it accounts for a substantial percentage of preventable hospital admissions for people our age. This isn't just about comfort, it's about staying independent and healthy. But here's the thing: simply drinking more water isn't always the solution. In fact, after spending months researching this topic and completely transforming my own hydration habits, I've discovered that how we hydrate matters just as much as how much we hydrate. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today: the top 10 hydration mistakes you might be making and how to fix them for maximum health benefits. These aren't just random tips, these are game changers I've personally discovered that have dramatically improved my energy levels, joint comfort, digestion, and even the appearance of my skin. So let's dive in and transform your hydration habits together. Mistake number 1: waiting until you're thirsty to drink water. This is perhaps the biggest mistake I see people our age making. Remember what I mentioned earlier about our thirst signals declining? By the time you actually feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. I was stunned to learn from research at Harvard Medical School that the thirst mechanism becomes considerably less efficient after age 50, meaning we can be significantly dehydrated before our brain even signals thirst. Instead of waiting for thirst, I've learned to schedule my water intake throughout the day. I keep a large water bottle with time markers on it, and I make sure to drink specific amounts by certain times of day. Since implementing this change, I've noticed significantly more consistent energy levels throughout the day. No more 3 p.m. energy crashes. Mistake number 2: drinking the wrong amount of water. For years, we've all heard that magic 8 glasses a day rule, right? Well, after extensively researching this topic, I discovered that this one-size-fits-all approach is completely wrong for many of us. According to research I found from the Institute of Medicine, our water needs are highly individualized, based on our weight, activity level, climate, and even certain medications. Many blood pressure medications and antihistamines, which are common prescriptions for people our age, can actually increase our water requirements by up to 20%. I personally calculate my optimal intake by taking my weight in pounds, dividing it by 2, and drinking that many ounces as a baseline, then adjusting up or down based on my activity level and the weather. For example, at 160 pounds, I aim for 80 ounces as my starting point. That's actually 10 glasses, not 8. Mistake number 3: drinking too much plain water without electrolytes. This mistake was an absolute revelation to me. Did you know that drinking large amounts of plain water without adequate electrolytes can actually worsen dehydration? By diluting the electrolytes in your bloodstream? I had no idea until I read about hyponatremia in research from Johns Hopkins Medicine. This is especially crucial for those of us over 50, as our kidneys become less efficient at conserving electrolytes as we age. I've learned to enhance at least some of my daily water with electrolytes, particularly sodium, potassium, and magnesium. I now add a small pinch of high-quality sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to at least 2 glasses of water daily. The difference in how I feel is remarkable. My energy is more sustained, and I've noticed fewer muscle cramps since making this change. Mistake number 4: consuming too many dehydrating beverages. Here's where many of us go wrong without even realizing it. Those morning cups of coffee, that evening glass of wine, or those diet sodas throughout the day are actually stealing water from your body. Through my research, I learned that beverages containing caffeine and alcohol act as diuretics, causing our bodies to expel more water than they provide. A study from the National Institutes of Health that I came across suggested that for every caffeinated or alcoholic beverage you consume, you need an additional 8 ounces of water to offset the dehydrating effect. I haven't given up my morning coffee completely. Life's too short, but I now follow each cup with an equal amount of water. I've also cut my wine consumption to just 1 glass, twice a week. And I make sure to drink plenty of water before and after. The improvement in my sleep quality and morning joint stiffness has been dramatic. Mistake number 5: ignoring the water content in foods. This was a game changer for me. Did you know that approximately 20% of our daily water intake should come from food? Many fruits and vegetables are more than 90% water and provide not just hydration, but also the fiber and nutrients that help our bodies retain that water effectively. Research from the University of Aberdeen that I studied shows that water consumed through food is actually absorbed more slowly and stays in our tissues longer than water we drink. This provides more sustained hydration throughout the day. I now make a conscious effort to include water-rich foods in every meal. Cucumbers, celery, bell peppers, strawberries, oranges, and watermelon have become staples in my diet. I've noticed improvements in my digestion, and even in the moisture level of my skin since making this change. Mistake number 6: drinking ice-cold water. This one surprised me. While that ice-cold glass of water might feel refreshing, I discovered through studies from Chinese medical research that very cold water can actually shock your digestive system and cause the blood vessels in your digestive tract to constrict, making it harder for your body to properly absorb and distribute that water. For optimal hydration, especially for those of us over 50, with already slowing digestive systems, room temperature or slightly cool water is absorbed much more efficiently. In fact, research from European Hydration Institutes suggests that room temperature water can be absorbed up to 30% faster than ice-cold water. Since switching to room temperature water, I've noticed less bloating after drinking and better overall absorption. It took some getting used to, but now I actually prefer it. Mistake number 7: not adjusting water intake based on medication. This mistake can actually be dangerous. Many common medications prescribed to people our age, including blood pressure medications, antihistamines, and certain pain relievers, can significantly affect hydration levels. I was shocked when my pharmacist told me that my blood pressure medication was actually increasing my risk of dehydration. According to information I found from the American Heart Association, many common medications can either act as diuretics or alter your body's ability to recognize dehydration. I now keep a detailed list of all my medications and their potential effects on hydration, and I adjust my water intake accordingly. For those days when I take my full complement of medications, I make sure to add an extra 16 to 20 ounces of water to my daily intake. This simple change has helped reduce many of the side effects I used to experience. Mistake number 8: hydrating at the wrong times. Timing is everything when it comes to proper hydration. One of the most valuable pieces of information I discovered in my research is that strategic timing of water consumption can dramatically improve its effectiveness. I learned from studies at the University of Connecticut that drinking 16 ounces of water right after waking up can jumpstart your metabolism by up to 24%. Similarly, having 8 ounces of water about 30 minutes before each meal not only improves digestion, but can reduce calorie intake by making you feel fuller. Another critical time for hydration is before, during, and after exercise. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine that I read suggests that proper hydration can improve physical performance by up to 25% and significantly reduce recovery time, especially important for our age group. I now keep a hydration schedule that includes strategic drinking times, and I've noticed improved energy, better digestion, and enhanced workout performance as a result. Mistake number 9: using the wrong water bottle. This might seem trivial, but the type of water bottle you use can have a surprising impact on your hydration habits. After trying numerous options, I discovered this makes a huge difference. Many plastic water bottles contain BPA and other chemicals that can leach into water, especially when exposed to heat, like leaving your bottle in the car. According to research I found from the NIH, these chemicals can act as endocrine disruptors, potentially affecting hormonal balance, something that's already challenging enough for us at this age. Additionally, the design of your bottle matters for convenience and consumption. I switched to a large, glass water bottle with a straw lid and time markers, and my water consumption immediately increased by about 40%. The straw made sipping throughout the day effortless, and the time markers kept me accountable. Mistake number 10: not accounting for increased hydration needs as we age. Perhaps the most crucial realization I've had is that our hydration needs actually increase as we get older, not decrease. This contradicts what many of us intuitively think, especially as our appetites often decrease with age. After age 50, our bodies contain approximately 10% less water than they did in our younger years. Combined with decreased kidney function and a diminished thirst response, this creates a perfect storm for chronic dehydration. Research from the Mayo Clinic that I studied indicates that adequate hydration becomes even more critical for maintaining cognitive function, joint lubrication, and proper medication absorption as we age. Some geriatricians now recommend that adults over 60 should aim for closer to 9 to 13 cups of fluid daily, rather than the standard 8 cups. I've personally found that increasing my fluid intake to approximately 90 ounces daily has significantly improved my cognitive clarity, joint comfort, and overall energy levels. The worst combinations with hydration. Now, let me share some critical information I discovered about what you should absolutely avoid when trying to improve your hydration status. First, I learned you should never consume high-sodium, processed foods without increasing your water intake. I was shocked to discover from research at the Cleveland Clinic that just one fast food meal can require up to 32 ounces of additional water to process properly. The sodium in these foods pulls water from your cells into your bloodstream, eventually expelling it if you don't replenish with adequate water. You should also absolutely avoid taking diuretic medications without consulting your doctor about proper hydration protocols. I made this mistake and ended up with severe electrolyte imbalances that caused frightening heart palpitations. According to cardiologists at Johns Hopkins that I read about, the combination of diuretics and inadequate hydration is one of the most common preventable causes of hospital admissions for people our age. Another critical warning: never combine alcohol with poor hydration, especially in hot weather. Through my research, I learned that this combination dramatically increases your risk of heat-related illness and can amplify the effects of dehydration by up to 3 times. I now make it a rule to drink 16 ounces of water before and another 16 ounces after any alcoholic beverage. The best combinations with hydration. On the positive side, I've discovered some powerful combinations that can dramatically enhance your hydration status. What I found incredibly helpful is to strategically combine your water intake with magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, avocados, and nuts. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that magnesium helps your cells actually retain the water you drink, making your hydration more effective at the cellular level. Since implementing this strategy, I've noticed significantly less frequent urination and more sustained hydration. Another game-changing combination I discovered is consuming potassium-rich foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, and coconut water alongside your water intake. According to research I found from Harvard Medical School, potassium works synergistically with sodium to regulate fluid balance in your cells. I now make a point to include at least one high potassium food daily, and my energy levels have become remarkably more stable throughout the day. I also learned to always eat water-rich fruits like watermelon, strawberries, and oranges, with a small handful of chia seeds for maximum hydration benefits. The natural sugars in the fruits help transport water into your cells, while the chia seeds, which can absorb up to 10 times their weight in water, create a slow-release hydration effect. I'll often prepare a simple chia pudding with coconut water and top it with fresh fruit as an afternoon snack. It's like a hydration superfood. Sleep environment and lifestyle tips. Now, let's talk about how proper hydration directly impacts your sleep quality, and what I've learned about creating the optimal environment for both. One of the most valuable discoveries I've made is finding the perfect balance of evening hydration. Drinking too little before bed can lead to dehydration during those 7 to 8 hours of sleep, potentially causing morning headaches and stiffness. However, drinking too much means midnight trips to the bathroom that fragment your sleep. Through careful experimentation, I've found that sipping about 4 to 6 ounces of water an hour before bed, then stopping liquid intake, works perfectly for me. I also keep a small glass of water on my nightstand for any middle of the night thirst, using a covered container to prevent dust accumulation. I've also discovered that proper bedroom humidity plays a crucial role in both sleep quality and hydration status. Research from sleep specialists at Mayo Clinic suggests that the ideal bedroom humidity should be between 40 to 60%. Too low, and you lose moisture through your breath and skin all night. Too high, and you may experience uncomfortable sleep and potential mold issues. After investing in a simple hygrometer and humidifier for winter months, I've noticed significantly less morning dry mouth and eye irritation, both signs of nighttime dehydration. Another game-changing lifestyle adjustment I've made is setting up my bedroom and morning routine to encourage immediate hydration upon waking. By placing a full glass of water on my nightstand before bed, I can hydrate within moments of waking, re-establishing proper fluid levels after the natural dehydration that occurs during sleep. Precautions and things to note. Before wrapping up, I need to share some critical precautions I've learned about hydration that could literally be life-saving information for some of you. First and foremost, if you have congestive heart failure, kidney disease, or certain other medical conditions, the hydration rules can be completely different for you. In fact, for some conditions, drinking too much water can be dangerous. I was shocked to learn from cardiologists at the Cleveland Clinic that, for certain heart conditions, fluid intake needs to be carefully restricted and monitored. Always consult with your healthcare provider about your specific hydration needs if you have any chronic health conditions. Also, be aware that certain medications can make you more sensitive to electrolyte imbalances from either over or under hydration. Diuretics, some blood pressure medications, and certain antidepressants require careful attention to hydration status. I now review all new medications with my pharmacist, specifically for hydration-related concerns. Another critical warning I discovered in my research: the signs of dehydration in older adults often don't include feeling thirsty. Instead, watch for increased confusion, dizziness, fatigue, or dark-colored urine as more reliable indicators. After learning this from geriatric specialists at Johns Hopkins, I now pay much closer attention to these symptoms rather than waiting to feel thirsty. Finally, remember that rapid rehydration after significant dehydration should be approached carefully. Drinking too much water too quickly can cause a dangerous condition called hyponatremia, where sodium levels in the blood become dangerously diluted. I've learned to rehydrate gradually after heavy sweating or illness, often incorporating electrolyte solutions rather than plain water. Call to action. Well, there you have it, the top 10 hydration mistakes you might be making and how to correct them for optimal health as we navigate our 50s, 60s, and beyond. I hope you found this information as life-changing as I have. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps others in our age group find this important information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, so you never miss my latest research on health optimization for our stage of life. I'd love to hear about your experiences with hydration. What changes have you noticed as you've gotten older? Do you have any special hydration tips that have worked for you? Please share in the comments below. I read every single one and love learning from your experiences too. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, maybe a spouse, friend, or family member who's always complaining about fatigue or headaches, please share this video with them. You might just be giving them the gift of better health. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, where we'll explore another critical aspect of thriving in our golden years. Stay hydrated, my friends. Engagement element. Before you go, I'd love for you to participate in this quick self-assessment on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate your current hydration habits based on what you've learned today? And what's the one change you're committed to making this week to improve your hydration? Share your answers in the comments, and let's check back with each other in a few weeks to see what improvements we've noticed.